The agenda. We're going to start this meeting because it's going to take a little while. First of all, thank you all for coming. We have an agenda. Before I say that, we're going to make history today. Because everybody's invited here. This meeting is open to everybody. District 33, 34, business people, and crew members. The agenda goes like this. First of all, Ashton Spinney Association, we're going to talk about that. We ain't going to spend much time about that. Because that should have been done and over with, and obviously a long time ago. It doesn't do the fishing industry any good to have this association. Number two, we have to have our own association. That includes District 33 and 34. Okay? And then we're going to talk about the industry problems, mainly about the price, mainly about the economy. So I'm going to go back over Ashton Spinney's Association. 1984, the government agreed to an advisory group. It lasted about 6 years. The reason why the government didn't want it to exist because they couldn't control the members that was headed up the advisory group. Government wanted control. So then they had an election, and they elected a man in the hot seat of Ashton Spinney. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to badger him too much, but I'm going to tell you this much. He should never, ever be in this situation. He does nothing for you. He goes to the meeting, and I call him, whatever the government wants, he delivers. Ashton Spinney, the last 4 years, has failed you terribly, miserably. If he'd have come out this winter and negotiated with the Lobster dealers and said, listen boys, you're only going to get $3.25, most of you guys would have stood your ground and not untied your lines. Because you know exactly you can't go lobster fishing for $3.25. It's impossible. If you continue this road, you will not only bankrupt yourself, you will bankrupt your community. Ashton Spinney seems like anything that the government wants, he'll deliver. Let's talk about Jeff Irvin. What happened to Jeff Irvin? He was going to be the great I am. Well, he never done too good this winter because the lobsters is still only $3.25 or whatever they are today, so what's his place in this? He's going to have $1.4 million to play with. Okay? And what's he going to do for you? Absolutely nothing. And the only community stood the ground and told him to go home, plus Ashton Spinney, was Woods Harbor. They lasted about 20 minutes in Woods Harbor because we told him the truth. The only benefit from Jeff Irvin is for the dealers. That's it. If you people continue to throw your lobsters at the dealers and don't have some system put in place for a fair price and demand that, guess what? That's your problem. Now, do we have an Ashton Spinney fan here to come up here and say, well, he's doing the right thing? I want to hear it. I want to hear your concerns about what he's done or what he's not done. Anybody want to come up and grab the mic? Welcome to it. I guess there isn't too many Ashton Spinney fans here. And by the way, he's been there 20 years. 20 years we put up with his abuse. I think we should have our own association, and it's a must that we do have it. And I'm talking both 33 and 34. Because their season opens up the same time as ours does and closes the same time as ours. And we should have we got to have an association because that means that we can go and negotiate with the dealers, and we also can find out what the government's up to and the issues that the government's going to throw at you guys. I want to see today that you guys will man up and say, yes, we got to have an association of our own. Ashton Spinney can be put out of business today if you wanted to. All the part reps has got to say, no, we're not coming to your meeting no more. We're not entertaining you, Ashton Spinney, anymore. That's all you got to do. Ashton Spinney, at all costs, will be capped. The government will keep him because they can control him. So if you don't have your own association, Ashton Spinney will prevail, and you will have the same old garbage go on forever. That is the truth. Now, if you want another 20 years of abuse, which I don't think you should have, you continue on the road. If you want something new, if you believe in me, let's have an association. Buddy, going to make a comment about that one?
I got one, James.
Yeah.
What's going to stop it from going from one association to 5, like the long line industry did, and we all, well, a lot of us got screwed out of going. We need one association, if it's an association, only one, not broke up into 5 and divide and conquer, because that's what happened before, in my opinion.
That's true. And we can't let that happen. We need one association, and this is a good day to start it. What
So
I like,
how would this association be run?
how?
Yes.
By me.
Okay.
You got the answer to that one. And I'm gonna take four directors with me, handpick them.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think we're all kind of wondering what's the agenda of this association?
What's the agenda? The agenda is making sure you fellas get a fair price for your lobsters, first of all. Making sure the government don't abuse you anymore. That's the agenda.
Just one of the concerns I have against some of the items that you listed off, what is that you didn't say that you would try and protect us against it going to quota.
I'll protect you against anything. If it isn't good for this community, I'm dead set against government. Anything to do with government, I'm dead set against, because there's always a hidden agenda, and what they want to do, they want to abuse you and take your life away, your freedom away.
Yes.
I am not for quota.
No, but sometimes an association can lead to quota.
Well, they've talked about that quite many times, haven't they? The government has had that on the table for a lot of times, a long time.
But we have the log bumps.
I'm not going to go to any meeting alone. I won't do that. Nope. And I'll share any information with you fellas on the internet or through Yarmouth, and I will definitely protect you against anything that you guys don't want. You guys have the say. I don't. I'm only going to be the messenger boy. That's all. That's it.
So how many fellows is gonna run this association, James?
There'll be me and 4 directors, and I'm going to handpick them.
Right on.
And I'm not having no lobster license holders involved either.
That's right.
Okay, that requires- Like I say, I'm not going to go to the government and tell them anything myself. You fellas are going to have to vote on this, and you're going to have to give me my direction, and you're going to have to tell me what you fellas want on a democratic vote. That's it.
That's where a vote comes in, separation. Anytime we vote, it separates everybody. And if we have an association or a union or anything that is employed, it's gonna be separation and vote. We done the measure, 316 measure, separated half the fleet. We done no Sunday fishing, half these guys going, half never, more separation. Last year, what was last year?
Sunday
Split
fishing.
season, separated 50% of us. That's where separation come in, quotas and fishing, was separation. And I don't know how you're gonna resolve it. The only way you're probably gonna resolve it is a union, and nobody wants a union. We're gonna come close enough, an association to become close enough to be a union, that we're not gonna be a union. Because we don't wanna get unionized.
We will not be unionized, not with
No,
me.
but we gotta get close enough to a union with an association.
You tell me,
You gotta have that road up.
you tell me
I
this.
believe it.
Is this system you're working under now working? You stand up and face me and you tell me this.
Say that
Is
again.
it working?
What?
This system that you fellows are fishing under, with a price of $3.25, is that working for this lobster industry?
No, definitely not. I'm
Then
not here
okay,
saying
what's the
you.
alternative? Tell me the
That's what
alternative.
we're here for. You tell me the alternative.
I just told you.
What?
You have your own association.
But that's why I stood up, because you said then we'll have all kinds of votes, and then you can say it. But the vote is gonna separate us again.
No, it won't separate you. There's no way in the world. You vote, the majority rules. That's a democratic way of life. That's it.
Well, when everybody votes, you get this vote for split season. Well, they voted. It was like, I don't know what the number was, but let's say it was like 55% voted for it, and 44% voted no. Well, in the democratic society, 51% vote yes. That's what usually happens. They voted 55% for it, and it never happened. And it's the same thing like Ashton Spinney 2 years ago wanted, are we going to fish on Sunday? Well, we're going to have a vote. They voted. They say, well, you know, you got to have, I don't know what the number is, but they say you got to have at least 80% yes. What the fuck's wrong with 51%? If I own 51% of a company, I got the majority in what I say goes. So if 51% of the lobster fishermen say they don't want to fish on Sunday, it should be we're not fishing Sunday, and fuck the other 49.
How do you know how the vote went? How? How do you know how the vote went?
Because that's what the DFO said.
I don't trust DFO. No time. Never. Never would I trust them.
But if we have an association and it went 51% or more, the association should say, fuck you DFO, we're doing what the 51%
That's what I'm
said.
doing here. You think I'm going to entertain the government of Ashton Spinney and his foolishness? I'm not doing
I'm
that.
not arguing
Listen,
with you, I'm just saying how it
I
should be.
want you to argue with me. I do. I'm pretty good at rowing. Like I say, you can't put your fate in DFO's hands or Ashton Spinney's hands. Every meeting I've been to, Ashton Spinney has lied to you and me. Everyone. Gilbert Devon, where the hell are you? Stand up. Get up. Gilbert Devon and I went to Dartmouth one day, about 5 years ago. This is a high-level meeting. All the big dignitaries was there. Ashton Spinney was there. They were from Ottawa, so on and so forth. Ashton got up and made this statement. I know what he had for membership that year, 292 members. Ashton Spinney got up and made a statement saying, I represent all of FLA 34. That's the biggest lie he ever told. So, if you want Ashton Spinney, you crack it too with the DFO. I'm not involved. I want you guys to man up and have your own association. And have some honesty and integrity here. That's what I want.